you everyone for joining us today for our Explore Simpson Academic Series. Today we are going to be talking with the Computer Science Department, and we have some current students and alumni on the call. So we'll go through some information about the computer science program. We'll talk about some admissions information, and you'll also be able to ask some questions and hear about the experiences of our current students and alumni. So my name is Kylie Gottschalk. I work in the admissions office, and with us we have Dr. Carolyn Brody, Dr. Mark Brody, Dr. Paul Craven, and Dr. Todd Little. So our agenda for today, we are going to first go through academics, talk about the computer science program, then I'll give some brief admissions information, and then we'll finish with a Q&A. So with that, I will turn it over to our faculty.
Perfect. Thank you, Kylie. On behalf of the Department of Computer Science, I would like to thank everyone for joining us this evening and taking time out of your busy lives to learn a little bit more about Simpson College and what the Department of Computer Science can offer to you. The department does have 4 faculty members, 4 full-time faculty members, Dr. Carolyn Brody, Dr. Mark Brody, Dr. Paul Craven, and myself, Dr. Todd Little. Go ahead and advance, Kylie. So what we wanted to do here tonight is just take a little bit of time to talk to you about the different majors that we can offer to students through our department. Let's go ahead and advance. So to begin with, the department offers 4 majors. The first one being computer science, where we're heavy in programming, but we're also dealing with the theoretical and mathematical foundations of computer science theories. Some sample courses could include computer architecture, software engineering, discrete math, and also introduction to algorithms, along with our introductory level programming courses. The next major we can offer is computer information systems, where again, we're focusing on the programming aspects, but taking on a more business-centered technology applications, with courses including web development, database systems, mobile application development, as well as 3D game development. Go ahead and advance. So the last 2 majors that we can offer in the department is management information systems, where we're combining both business-related topics as well as information system topics. So courses can include such things as project management, system analysis and design, e-commerce, as well as knowledge management. And our 4th major is interactive media, combining the skills of 3 different departments coming from graphic arts, graphic design, our multimedia communication, as well as the programming aspects. So different courses in this major can include web development, graphic design, as well as multimedia communications. And go ahead and advance. Along with the 4 majors that we can offer to students, each of the programs also have their corresponding minors. So a student could combine one of our majors with one or more of the minors across the 4 areas. But when we look beyond our department, we also encourage students to explore the other areas that might be beneficial to their career path. Combining one of our programs with a math major or perhaps the math minor. We also offer through our math department a data science major as well as a data analytics minor. And through our business department, we offer a business analytics minor. And of course, we encourage students to explore the areas across other disciplines of the college, including items in the humanities, even the social science areas. So there's a lot of nice combinations that can be set up with our major minor offerings within the department. If you go ahead and advance. So along with our programs of study, we also offer students a wide variety of options outside of the classroom to allow them to gain further experiences. And for this, I would like to turn it over to our Dr. Mark Brody.
Thank you very much, Todd. Can we go to the next slide, please? So one thing that has become a big part of our program is programming competitions. There are 2 main ones that we compete in. One is in the spring semester. It's a smallish competition. Most of the colleges competing are from small liberal arts colleges like us, and our students always do very well in this competition. We usually take maybe 15 or 20 students, and there are teams of 3. The competition is 3 or 4 hours, and we actually won outright we're the defending champions, because the one in spring this year was cancelled due to COVID, obviously. And one of our alumni on the call, Drew, was one of the members of that championship team. And we actually have won it twice in the last 4 years, actually. So our students are very competitive with students around the region. Then the other programming competition is in the fall semester. This is a much bigger competition. It's a worldwide competition, which is divided into many regions. So we compete in the Midwest region against very much bigger colleges like Iowa State, the University of Iowa, and so on. So we can't really hope to beat those schools because they have much bigger student populations than we do. But it's a success for us if we are the highest placed liberal arts college in Iowa, which we have been in many years, not every year. Sometimes a school like Co might beat us, but most of the colleges along in the region compete in that contest. So the fact that we come usually first or second among the liberal arts colleges in Iowa, I think says something about our program. And it's really fun to compete in these contests. You get a lot of experience working with a team, which is very important. And this is something that employers really look for on students' resumes. Okay, can we go to the next slide about the Computer Science Club? We have a very, very active Computer Science Club. So they do their own activities, really, whatever they want to explore, but certainly they have built computers. They have had robots competing against each other that they program, and they've gone to hackathons at Iowa State, and even one year in Washington. It really depends on what the students in the club, what they are interested in. But there's a lot of activity outside the classroom, and very good fun and very good experience also. And then one nice thing about being really close to Des Moines is that internships are really relatively easy to get. So many of our students intern at major Des Moines companies. Sometimes usually, as long as they do well, the internship will turn into a full-time job offer after graduation. And some of those companies are listed there: Principal, Athene, Nationwide, etc. Basically, we've had students intern and have full-time jobs in all of those companies in recent years. So we have a lot of good contacts in those companies, and often they come to campus to host some evening or talk to classes about what is happening in those companies. I think those are the main things outside the classroom that would be of interest. So I'll turn it over now to Dr. Paul Craven talking about game design?
Well, we've got a first semester class that's done in Python. Students learn all the same sort of things they do in most normal college classes for the first semester, but we do it in more of a visual game type of framework. And you basically start off creating simple images using programs, then animating, then adding user control, detecting collisions, working with lists of monsters, that type of thing. And at the end of it, students can basically take home a 2D 1980s style video game that they created. So, I mean, that's just the first semester that you're here. And it's a great way to figure out if you actually enjoy programming. Because programming not only is good on the business sense, but programming can be just, quite frankly, an enjoyable activity. And writing games is a really nice way of figuring out if you enjoy doing the coding. So we do this like first semester, and then we've also got classes in doing 3D modeling and texturing, which doesn't require programming, but is more on the artistry side of things. And we also have advanced classes where we use the Unity game engine and C# in order to do more advanced game development. Students work in teams, work with tools like Git in order to work and correspond and synchronize their work together. It's a whole lot of fun, quite frankly. And game programming is a little bit more difficult than actual business programming, in my particular opinion, and is a step towards actual simulations if you want to go the scientific route. So it's a nice step forward for any type of programming that you end up wanting to do. Next slide.
You're on mute, I think, Caroline.
Okay, sorry. I'm Carolyn Brody, and I'm going to get to our students. We have 4 students who have joined the call tonight, 2 who have graduated, Drew Rowan in 2019, Sam Adene last spring, and 2 current students who are getting very close to finishing, Georgia Porter and Chris Shima. And we've asked them just to give you a little bit of information about what it's like to be a student at Simpson from their perspectives. So why don't I start with Drew, and we'll work from the oldest to the youngest here, but go ahead. Thank you.
Sure, yeah. So my name is Drew Rowan. Like I said, I graduated a couple years ago, and I'm currently working at Pioneer, also known as Corteva. But during Simpson, I think what I like the most is I obviously love the programming courses, but I think what was good about Simpson is that you aren't coding 24/7. You're not in straight computer science classes for those 4 years. I think you get a very well-rounded education, right? So I've been taking philosophy classes, took some logic courses, took a women's studies course. I think there's a lot of opportunity to try different things. I also had the opportunity to do music. I had a music minor, and then I got to run as well. So I ran D3 cross country, and that's honestly, that was a super fun experience and something that I'll never forget, right? Another important thing about Simpson is that it's so close to Des Moines, like we were talking about with internships. Honestly, a lot of companies will come looking for Simpson students because a lot of my friends would live on campus over the summer and then go to Des Moines for their internship, right, at Principal or wherever. So there's a ton of opportunity to kind of dive right into doing some professional software development. And I think that's a really awesome experience. And then I guess one other thing that I think Simpson does a really good job at teaching you is those soft skills that are necessary for like professional software development roles. I think I've found that thanks to Simpson, I can communicate really well with higher ups, communicate with coworkers, communicate with whoever I need to, right? I think that's helped me move forward at a faster pace. Yeah, I think that kind of wraps up a little bit what I want to talk about. So thank you.
Thank you, Drew. And Sam, who's started in graduate school now, please.
Hi, my name's Sam Adeni. I graduated just this past spring. And like you mentioned, I started a graduate program at the University of Minnesota in computer science. I guess one of the things I really appreciated from Simpson was how helpful like all the professors were. My time there, coming into Simpson, I had never taken any like computer science courses or any software engineering, anything like that. So it was like literally brand new to me when I got there. So it was a little bit of a struggle the first semester. I remember going to the tutors every day, and I was in Professor Brody's office probably every other day as well, asking the same questions. But as time got on, I started figuring it out more and more. And even still, when I had questions, they were still able to guide me in the right direction. And I don't think I think that's something that I really appreciated in my time there. Another thing being that I also was involved with track and a few other activities, just being able to manage my time. Professors were very flexible with allowing you more time on assignments and things like that when I would have to miss class, getting me prepared for graduate school. Obviously, going in, I did not think I was going to go. I did not want to go to graduate school, I'll be honest. Even up till like, I don't know, middle of last year, I still wasn't sure I wanted to go. But just how much the staff pushes you to reach outside of your comfort zone. I don't think I would have even tried to apply if it wasn't for Professor Brody, Professor Berger, and some of the few others in the program. So those are some things I took away from my experience.
Thank you. Sort of in no order here, Georgia, I'll see you on my screen first. So if you'd like to talk about being a current student and a double major with math, right? You are a double major?
Yes. Yes. Hello, my name's Georgia. I'm a senior from Melbourne, Iowa. I'm majoring in math and computer science, and I'm involved in the softball team, the math club, and the computer science club. So like Sam, I went to a small high school, had no exposure to any sort of programming. So I fell in love taking Dr. Craven's Intro to Programming Python class. I was like, whoa, I can use this programming language to make a game. This is super cool. And I made a little spin-off of a Pac-Man game. So that was kind of my start on my journey. Since then, I've been able to take part in one of those coding competitions that Dr. Brody talked about. Sam Medini was actually on my team, and we were able to finish, I think, 3 problems. We went up to Iowa State and spent the day up there, and it was really cool to meet a bunch of different computer science majors and really put our skills to work in a challenged environment. So it was a really good experience. That's one thing that the department does a really good job of. And let's see, what else? Alumni networking has been huge. I remember right away in that first class, Dr. Craven brought in some different alumni to talk. They'd work at Principal and they were talking about their job. And I've had different lunches with some Simpson alum as well. And just that connection really gets your foot in the door out there to get different internships. So already I'm going to be graduating this spring, and I had an internship my sophomore year with CUNA Mutual Group up in Waverly. I was doing application development up there. And right now I have an internship with Shazam in Johnson in their application development department. So really having the chance to have a flexible class schedule and get some real life career IT experience. And so Simpson does a really good job of that as well. As far as double majoring, I think for high school students that might be a little intimidating, but I've been able to double major and play softball and be super involved. I also work in the admissions department, so it's kind of fun to be on these different recruiting calls because I give tours and I enjoy it. I love talking about Simpson. I love it here. So it's definitely doable. And when you go on those college visits, make sure you ask those questions. You know, if you're interested in computer science or different programs, they're very easy to kind of do at the same time, and they overlap a lot more than you think. So that's my story.
Thank you. And last but not least, Chris, please tell us about your experiences here.
I'm Chris Shima, and I guess I come from Storm Lake, Iowa, so northwest Iowa, and I'm majoring in computer information systems and then double minoring in computer science and interactive media. And originally, when I came here, I wanted to be in like kind of more of the physical trainer, sports kind of arena, and then I took the intro to programming with Paul Craven. I was like, oh, I really like playing with games and creating things like that. And so I was like, okay, yeah, maybe this is a track I want to go down. Took a couple more classes, and now majoring and minoring in like every single field almost. So I guess that's kind of what the starter was for me. And then digging deeper in, I kind of chose like computer information systems mainly because I think it's like more of the business side is what I kind of liked of, and looking at databases and things like that after taking a few classes with Dr. Caroline Brody. I really enjoyed that part of things. And then interactive media as a minor was kind of along the lines of the design. I kind of like art, so I was looking at design and then also website building and things like that. But I guess for a couple other experiences that I had or have had why I've been here is I've done some like on-campus internship type of things. I've worked with last semester in the spring, I worked with a business management capstone, and I helped them build some websites. I did a few things like that, which was a lot of fun. So it shows that there's not only internship opportunities off campus, but also on campus if maybe you don't have means of travel or it just doesn't fit in your schedule. Which is really cool, especially through other departments. They're willing to work with you and give you an opportunity. Another big thing I guess I want to hit on was like my first year on campus, there's an alumni mentoring program. And I decided, yeah, I could maybe use a little mentor to show me where to go in life before I graduate. And they'll pair you one with the major you're going into or what you think you want to go into. And so my mentor has like helped me find some different internship opportunities, like the one on campus, because he had some connections, and then kind of give me some ideas of what life after college in like the programming world is like, I guess. And then he's also helped me set up an internship and connect with some other career services areas on campus for an internship with a hospital back home in the IT department for this winter break. I guess those are a few of the things that I've had on campus, so I don't really have anything else.
Thank you very much. I appreciate all of you, and I will turn it back over to Kylie. Are you taking back over at this point?
I am. Thank you so much. We really appreciate hearing from all of you. I think it really helps prospective students get a better understanding of the program, to hear from faculty and current students and alumni. So we really appreciate that. So next we'll just go into some admissions information. Again, my name is Kylie. I work in the admissions office, and Laura is also on the call. She also works in admissions. She's kind of doing some of the behind the scenes stuff, but she's here as well. So just some brief information about Simpson. We are a private liberal arts college with about 1,200 full-time undergraduate students. And we offer students full financial aid package, and 100% of our students do receive financial aid, whether it's in the form of scholarships, grants, student loans. We really do try and make it as affordable as possible for students to be able to get a liberal arts education at a smaller private school. So we are really committed to that. And we have about a 12-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So you really do get those one-on-one connections with professors that you heard from some students already. And so having those smaller class sizes, I mean, it depends on your major too. It could be a little smaller, a little larger, but you do get to build those relationships with professors and learn more about opportunities within the program, like research and competitions or internships and job shadowing. So we really do honor and appreciate the fact that our faculty do enjoy teaching and do enjoy building those relationships with students. We have about 80 majors, minors, and pre-professional programs. And as you heard, you know, it's very, very doable for students to major in more than one area and still graduate in 4 years. And I actually talked to a student who's going to graduate early and is double majoring. So it's definitely very possible to study more than one thing and make yourself more marketable in the workforce. And our placement rate is about 99%. So once students graduate, they're either employed in graduate school or in some form of service, and within 6 months of graduation. So a very high placement rate that we're very proud of. And as you heard, we have some excellent internship programs. We have, in addition to faculty knowing, having connections in the community and knowing people around the state, around the country, and being able to connect you with employers, we also have a career development office that assists in that as well. And so they'll help students find internships, job shadow opportunities, as well as helping craft and create resumes and cover letters. So we have a whole department dedicated to make sure that you find some way to be involved outside of the classroom and take the things you learn in the classroom and put them into practice in the real world, so to say. So some next steps, if you haven't already, apply to Simpson. It is free. It takes about 20 minutes or less, and there's no essay portion. We do give students the option to write a brief statement about themselves, and we always encourage students to do that because in our admissions process, we have rolling admissions, so you can apply at any time and be considered for admission. And that area where you can write about yourself really just helps the person reading your application get to know you better, and it allows you just to personalize your application. So beyond just talking about your grades and classes, you can talk about any clubs or organizations you're part of in school or outside of school, sports, as well as any part-time work that you do as well. So we want to get a whole picture of who you are. Academics are very important, and so our test scores, if you have taken the ACT or SAT, but we take a very holistic approach to admissions and want to see you as a whole person and understand everything you're interested in and passionate about. So applying to Simpson is the first step, and then you can file your FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid. So starting October 1st, you can start to file that, and then around mid-January, you will receive your student financial aid package, which details scholarships, grants, student loans, any other kind of aid you qualify for, work study, things like that. So the sooner you do that, the sooner you'll get that in January. So that would be the next step, but also make sure to set up an individual campus visit if you haven't been on one already. We offer them on campus. We are offering on-campus visits right now. We are following numerous safety guidelines in response to COVID-19. And so we're offering, less visits per day, masks are required, social distancing, that kind of stuff. So you can come on campus and see for yourself what Simpson is like in person, or you can attend one of these virtual visits. We have these specific academic series visits, but we also have general visit day options. So, you can do what is best for you, whatever you feel comfortable with. So when you set up an on-campus visit, even some of our virtual ones that you can do one-on-one, you can still meet with an admissions counselor, faculty member, coaches, and current students. So most things you can do on a campus visit, you can still do virtually. So the only thing is you can't take a campus tour, but soon we will have a video of campus, so you can do that as well from a distance. But definitely check out our fall events calendar. We have many, many different options to find out more about Simpson. So just check out our website, simpson.edu/events, and you'll find all of the on-campus and virtual options. So now is the time for Q&A.
If you don't mind, the recent and current students, do you want to speak as to what you think about large university versus small college?
I guess I could say I have a few friends who go to Iowa State, and they are trying to major in some of the computer science or computer information systems field, and they find it much harder with how large the student class size is for a lot of those intro courses. I know with Paul Craven's Intro to Programming, that's probably the largest programming class you'll ever have. And it's really not that big for the most part either, and he gets around to everybody individually almost every single class period. So it makes it that much easier to understand what you're programming, and if you're having troubles, like they're all the professors are very willing to help you out even outside of class time. And during the COVID-19, they've got virtual hours where they help out a lot as well. So I guess I can attest to saying that like the larger ones seem to be more of a struggle, but I don't have any personal experience with that, but just from word of mouth from some friends that go to like Iowa State, that they find it harder to do that, and they wish that their class sizes were a lot smaller.
I can also jump in. I have a friend from high school who goes to Iowa State as well, and we were taking very similar classes, and she seemed to be struggling. And I think what set Simpson apart that I learned really fast was to go to office hours. I know all four of you professors, I think I've been in your office many times. So just knowing as a freshman right away that those resources were available to us, and we would create study groups, and I quickly learned the other students in my class. And I know like now in my 300 level classes, most of us have been together since the start. So we study, we ask each other questions. And I think those types of friendship relationships and professor relationships being there is a huge support system where a bigger university might not have as much. And I know my friend, she would struggle, if she would get stuck on something, she'd be Googling it, and there would be maybe a tutor in the library, but she didn't have as good of a support group that I know that I have here.
And how do you feel about, other clubs and organizations you're involved in? Do you feel like you can balance them well? Or if you were in athletics, how do you feel like you balanced your course load, or, were able to be involved in other things on campus?
I guess I can jump in on this, being in a kind of multitude of things. But so I work admissions. I'm on call now, but I worked there my first year, and then I also was in wrestling and in dance, and now I'm an RA, or we call them CAs here at Simpson, and I'm a team lead, which comes a lot with some more responsibility, and I got to do a few more things. But I find it really easy to balance these things because you have like almost every other student on campus does the same thing. They're involved in so many things that you can relate with almost everybody you talk to. And so if there's a struggle, a lot of the times, like, the professors are willing to help you out and say, okay, what times do you have free here? What can we work around your schedule? Sometimes they'll even meet with you 7-8 o'clock at night over a Zoom call, and in previous times in person, even on campus, just to help you go through things. And I think that, I'm sure Georgia can say a lot about this too, with her being involved in so much, that, you can utilize tutors as well, other students that are part of sports, athletics, I guess the same thing, like work study, or even, other organizations and clubs on campus. They're tutors, and that's balancing one more thing on top of it. And they're there to help you get through everything that you need to get through. So I feel like there's a large support system around balancing all of this, and it just makes it that much easier.
Great. Thank you so much. We really appreciate all of your perspectives and insight into, how your experience has been at Simpson, how it was. And so we really appreciate that. And thank you all for being on here and taking the time out of your evening to be here. Just going to finish with stay connected with us. So follow us on social media, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We're everywhere. So make sure to follow us, stay up to date on other events we're hosting. And also, make sure you are staying up to date with your admissions counselor. So they were probably calling you, texting you, emailing you. So any questions you have, feel free to reach out to your admissions counselor. They're there to help and connect you to anybody that can answer your question, especially about academics. They can help connect you to faculty, or make sure to sign up for another visit with us. And we look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you so much.